Welcome to the show. Today we're going to look at a story about Mount Everest and what's going on there, but from a different perspective. Before we get started, please head to buymeacoffee.com/Samson King and support the channel. We appreciate it. All right, let's dive right in. Mount Everest's highest camp is littered with frozen garbage, and cleanup is likely to take years. This is a story coming out of Kathmandu, Nepal. The highest camp on the world's tallest mountain is littered with garbage that is going to take years to clean up, according to a Sherpa who led a team that worked to clear trash and dig up dead bodies frozen for years near Mount Everest's peak. The Nepal government-funded team of soldiers and Sherpas removed 11 tons, which is 24,000 pounds, of garbage, 4 dead bodies, and a skeleton from Everest during this year's climbing season. Ang Babu Sherpa, who led the team of Sherpas, said there could be as much as 40 to 50 tons, equivalent to 88,000 to 110,000 pounds of garbage still at South Col, the last camp before climbers make their attempt on the summit. The garbage left there was mostly old tents, some food packaging and gas cartridges, oxygen bottles, tent packs, and ropes used for climbing and tying up tents, he said, adding that the garbage is in layers and frozen at the 8,000 meter, this is a 26,400 foot altitude where the South Col camp is located. Since the peak was first conquered in 1953, thousands of climbers have scaled it, and many have left behind more than just their footprints. In recent years, a government requirement that climbers bring back their garbage or lose their deposits, along with increased awareness among climbers about the environment, have significantly reduced the amount of garbage left behind. However, that was not the case in earlier decades. Most of the garbage is from older expeditions, Ang Babu said. The Sherpas on the team collected garbage bodies from the higher altitude areas where the soldiers worked at lower levels and the base camp area for weeks during the popular spring climbing season when weather conditions are more favorable. Ang Babu said the weather was a big challenge for their work in the South Col area, where oxygen levels are about 1/3 of the normal amount. Winds can quickly turn to blizzard conditions and temperatures plunge. We had to wait for good weather when the sun would melt the ice cover, but waiting a long time in that altitude and conditions is just not possible, he said. It's difficult to stay for long with the oxygen level very low. Digging out the garbage is also a big task since it is frozen inside ice and breaking the blocks is not easy. It took 2 days to dig out one body near the South Col, which was frozen in a standing position deep in the ice, he said. Partway through, the team had to retreat to lower camps because of the deteriorating weather, and then resume after it improved. Another body was much higher up at 8,400 meters, 27,720 feet, and it took 18 hours to drag it to Camp 2, where a helicopter picked it up. The bodies were flown to Tribhuvan University Teaching Hospital in Kathmandu for identification. Of the 11 tons of garbage removed, 3 tons of decomposable items were taken to villagers near Everest's base, and the remaining 8 were carried by porters and yaks, and then taken by trucks to Kathmandu. There, it was sorted for recycling at a facility operated by Agni Ventures, an agency that manages recyclable waste. The old waste we received was from 1957, and that was rechargeable batteries for torchlights, said Sushil Kadga of the agency. Why do climbers leave garbage behind? At that high altitude, life is very difficult and oxygen is very low. So climbers and their helpers are more focused on saving themselves, Kadga said. Very interesting take on the wonder at Nepal, which is Mount Everest. When you sort of think of Mount Everest, it's painted by the media and from a PR perspective as a very beautiful place, a sort of once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for hardcore climbers. As we said, numerous people have scaled and been to the peak, for photo ops, self-achievement and things of that nature. But you never think of dead bodies frozen into the ice, people leaving their belongings behind, and just the sheer vastness of the amount of litter that's left behind at Mount Everest. So it's a very interesting story that shows depiction versus reality, right? On the news or in the media, it looks like a wonderful place to visit. The reality is the locals have a cleanup job to do, and there's been litter left there for decades. Thanks for stopping by. Keep it locked. Thanks for stopping by. Please make sure you like and subscribe. And also head over to buymeacoffee.com/Samson King. A link is up in the description. We appreciate your support, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for stopping by.